Let's get it. Start smashing those likes. Come on. Here we go. Uh-oh. Got all going on here. Come on. All right, here we go, guys. I'm Blockchain Crusader, crusading through these blockchains every single day. And we're back for live stream number 2 of the day. 2 out of 3 so far in the books. Here we go. Let's tap those likes. Let's smash those subscribes if you haven't already. And let's get into it, guys. Let's start tapping those likes, filling up those like meters. Let's get it rocking and rolling. Start dropping your questions into the chat. I will try to answer every single question in the chat, so make sure you guys are not shy. Come out of the woodwork, drop your altcoins into the chat. We will do some analysis on it, we will cover it, and I'll give you my thoughts on it here and there. Overall, the markets today have been a lot of sideways chop, but you guys know we took our Bitcoin long this morning. It hit our TP at the end of our second live stream, of our first live stream. We had come back down. We closed here right at the perfect support zone before bouncing back above the previous day, the daily MPOC of 107,745. Front ran our second TP of the daily open, and now we're back on the VWAP trying to find support again. I have not taken any more trades. I already took my first trade of the day over here. Got 380 bucks done for the day. Let's get it. And now the Citadel is just chilling and waiting for the next day to see where we at with Bitcoin. Bitcoin is overall still at hypercritical zones here. We are at a very important zone overall for Bitcoin that we need to continue moving up here. We cannot continue to lollygag above this previous week high here, because if we do, right, the previous week high is currently sitting at 106,850 bucks, give or take. If we begin to lose this area, guys, the only targets to the downside are the weekly open and then that unfortunate $104,316 weekly average that is untapped. And why is this $104,300 important? Because if we zoom out on the daily, let me turn off some of these indicators here, make everything nice and readable for absolutely everyone to get rid of this trend line right now. If we continue to push to the downside, right, and we lose the previous week high, this 104,316 is going to be the retest confirmation of whether Bitcoin is going to head lower or not, right? It's going to be a pucker up moment. Hang on tight, brace yourself for impact kind of situation, right? Because Bitcoin has been in this massive downtrend since 112,000. We came down last week on Thursday, January 5th, June 5th, sorry, to 100,500 bucks, give or take. We bounced back up into the downtrend, right? We broke out of it Monday morning this week. And since then, we've been doing nothing but printing red candles to the downside. If we come down to 104,300, we're going to be testing this downtrend to see if we can actually confirm the breakout, right? We're going to confirm the breakout. If we do not confirm the breakout and we start to fall back in below 103 to 101,000 and start falling back into this downtrend, 96K is on deck. 96K is on deck if that continues to happen. Obviously, we're still a long way from 96K. I'm not saying we're going to 96K. All I'm saying is we are at critical levels here that we don't want to be playing around with. We do not want to continue sitting above this previous week high and just keep tapping it and tapping it, because at some point, the more you tap that support zone, the more likely the chances are that the support zone breaks and we head lower. And we do not want that. We don't want that. We want 120K Bitcoin. We want 130K Bitcoin. We want 200K Bitcoin. Smash those likes if you want a 200K Bitcoin. That's what we want. And we're not going to get that if we keep sitting on top of this previous week high. Sack Nasty says, it's nasty time. We go into the moon this weekend. Dude, I hope so. I hope so that we go to the moon this weekend. I appreciate every single one of you guys in here. Keep tapping those likes. Do you consider any fundamentals when trading or just straight technical analysis? When trading, just straight technical analysis. When doing spot buys and long-term stuff, technicals and fundamentals. Technicals always have more weight than the fundamentals, but I would put both in, right? When deciding to buy something long-term for, 6, 12 plus months and holding right, I would be considering the fundamentals and the Ondo and the fundamentals and the technical. Perfect example is Ondo, right? Ondo, we know, is connected with BlackRock, but the Buildo Asset Fund with Securitize, right? They're very deep connected with some big corporations that are bringing real world assets to the blockchain. So that fundamentally makes Ondo a very long term hold, a very bullish indicator right there, nonetheless. But overall, the technical is what's going to tell me when to buy Ondo, when not to buy Ondo for the long term. So the technicals are always still priority overall. Appreciate every single one of you guys in here. Make sure you guys are all tapping that like. Make sure you guys are sharing out the live if you haven't already. Greatly appreciate it. Really helps out with the algorithm. Let's see here. Let's see if I'm making sure I'm not missing anybody in the chat. All right. What's support in Bitcoin? The support right now is this previous week high. This previous week high is the support at 106, 840, 850-ish area. This previous week high needs to continue holding. If it doesn't, we'll be dropping down to the weekly open at 105, 757. And then below that, we have the weekly untapped average at 104,316, which will determine whether Bitcoin falls back into its downtrend or the breakout is confirmed and we push back up to the upside. That is what is to be expected of the good old Bitcoin right now. Bitcoin is finding support on the VWAP currently at 107,552. Maybe we'll have another push up to this daily open, finally hitting our second TP for the Crypto Citadel today on this Bitcoin long. What's going on, everybody? I see all of you guys jumping in here. Appreciate everybody tapping those likes. Keep tapping those likes. Fill up those like meters. Makes sense. Appreciate the response. No problem, Big Mike. That's what I'm here for, man. I'm here to answer all questions at all time. Love your view of the charts and how the market love your view on the charts and how the market is moving. The market is pretty much moving sideways right now, a little bit to the downside, right? We got a nice little sea of red. Altcoins are dipping a little bit. We have we look at the Bitcoin dominance. Bitcoin dominance is climbing back up once again today. The more the Bitcoin dominance climbs, the more you're going to see the altcoins struggle. We need the altcoins to move to the upside. The only way they're going to start moving to the upside is if we start zooming out here on this daily for the Bitcoin dominance. Let me turn this off. And we need to start pushing down lower, man. Yesterday, we came down as low as 63.77. Now we're pushing back up above 64 again. We need to break lower. We need to come down to 63.30 and lower, start falling down to 62, 61 to really let the altcoins have a breather, be able to rally, continue to move to the upside. Ethereum right now is still holding above 27.11, but it's barely hanging on, guys. It's barely hanging on. Let's go take a look at Ethereum. So Ethereum right now, all right, we've come down. We look at here at the 4 hour. We've come down right to this 27.11 in the last 4 hours. We came down here, we found some support, we bounced back up as high as 27.66 before dropping back down again. If we start falling below 27.11, that's not going to be bueno for Ethereum. We need to keep Ethereum above 27.11. We need Bitcoin dominance to start slipping back down, Bitcoin price stabilizing, at least going sideways and potentially upwards to allow Ethereum to start running to 2,900 so that then we can have a moving target to $3,100 for Bitcoin, for Ethereum to the upside. But if Bitcoin doesn't cooperate and just begins to continue sliding down to that 104 and Bitcoin dominance continues climbing, we are going to be struggling here with the altcoins. Let me see here. Where are we? Here we go. Let's jump here. We need we need dominance 60%. We need below 60% dominance. Oh yeah, dude, below 60% dominance is like big time altcoin season. Like big time altcoin season. That's what we really, really want, right? Just having it, just letting the Bitcoin dominance slip to 62 to 61, we would have a mini rally in the altcoins, but dropping below 60, we are gonna be blasting off with the altcoins if we start dropping below 60%. Rudy G, Crypto Citadel member in the house. Good to see you, man. Where does Bitcoin have to close today for a positive outlook? It's not about the day alone. It's the overall encompassing week, right? So far today, holding above the previous week high is good, right? Staying above the previous week high, which is at $106,850, give or take, is good, which we are above right now. But we're still pretty close to that previous week high level overall. So we want to continue getting further away from the previous week high, pumping it, pushing it back up higher, 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 right? To start getting back towards that. Ideally, we want to get back above $109,880. That is the ideal point we want to get back above. That is the previous all-time high before $112,000. That is critical to get back above. Actually, I have it marked as all-time high. It needs to be previous all-time high. Previous all-time high. Very important to know here. Brett, what's going on, Brett? ¿Qué bolón, tiburón? El pan. Appreciate everybody jumping in here. Z4, what do you think will happen personally? Do you thinking Bitcoin will pump back to the 110 maybe all-time high this week or next? We're ending the week already, right? Today's Thursday. The majority of Thursday is gone. The New York trading session is about to end here relatively very soon. And then we got Friday left. So this week is pretty much almost wrapped up. Tomorrow we could see some potential, aggressive move to the upside. We'll see. I will be obviously analyzing the market every single day. And if there's a good long opportunity for tomorrow, we'll definitely take it in the Crypto Citadel again. So overall, still good for Friday. But we'll see if Friday starts to draw back further, right? I don't expect us to get back above 109 tomorrow. But wilder things have happened in the past. Bitcoin can definitely surprise people and move big if it wants to in one day. Right? We've seen that before many times, just like we saw it down yesterday. All of today we've been dropping down, right? All of yesterday we dropped, pumping $1,000 to $2,000 for Bitcoin. Realistically, it hasn't been any big challenge in the past. We saw it on Monday when Bitcoin just skyrocketed, right? From like 104 or 105 all the way to 109, pumping $4,000. So we definitely can do it. Anything is possible. But, more likely or not, we're probably going to see a bigger move coming next week. But we need to stay above this 106, man. We need to distance ourselves from that 104. The closer we get to that, the bigger the chance that we might slip a little bit lower. Marcus says, who's ready to trade crypto? Let's go, baby. Let's trade some crypto. That's what we did this morning. The Crypto Citadel made 380 macaroons, and I'm good with that. Some good gas money right there. Your prediction for Bitcoin this June? Overall, the month of June, I do believe that we're going to end the quarter two here in an overall positive note for Bitcoin, right? And a very positive note. Hopefully we get back into the May range and we start pushing a little bit further up. We did push all the way up to 110,000 earlier this week. I think there's a good chance that we continue rallying this month. We'll see. I could be wrong, right? The further down we start, the closer we get to that 104, back to that downward trend, the slipperier the slope gets, that potentially Bitcoin just slips down to below 100,000. But the further we get away from 100,000, the better the chance that Bitcoin can continue pushing to the upside. Spot trading and futures trading, which do you prefer? Honestly, it depends on your experience. Also, I keep two portfolios. I keep my DCA long-term spot portfolio, and I keep my trading portfolio. My long-term portfolio, I'll take some profits off of it in spot, then wait for some more altcoin dips, buy different altcoins, rotate it, this and that, right? And then I have my trading portfolio where I'm just constantly trading, and then the revenue that I'm generating, the gains that I'm making from that trading portfolio, I then transfer over to my long-term portfolio. And when there's a good crash in the market, a very good juicy pullback, then I will, put in some of those gains into the market and start building up my altcoin portfolio. That's pretty much how I manage it. But I honestly, day to day, I prefer futures trading. Spot trading, that's like the long term stuff that, couple of weeks, couple of months, year or so trading overall. There's nothing wrong with spot trading. If you're playing with big capital, absolutely nothing. If you're playing with small capital, you need to play around in the futures. Now, I don't trade anything outside of Bitcoin and Ethereum. Those are the two altcoins. That's the main coin and altcoin that I trade. I don't really start trading on leverage on all these other altcoins. Maybe one or two here and there when they're really overbought or really oversold. But ideally, I try to stay away from a bunch of different altcoins trading because those usually get you kind of wrecked. They're very, very dependent on Bitcoin. Sometimes they have an extremely bullish setup. And guess what? Bitcoin that day farts and slips sideways. And guess what? Your bullish setup on that altcoin gets wrecked. So that's why I don't like doing that, because then I'm just stressing out, looking at the Bitcoin chart and looking at the altcoin chart, making sure where is the support, where's the resistance, what's going to happen, what is Bitcoin going to do, is Bitcoin going to drop this altcoin, is it going to pump it? And I'd rather just not deal with that headache. So I just rather trade Bitcoin and trade Ethereum when the time is right and take trades. And that's what we do in the Crypto Citadel. There's nothing wrong with building an altcoin portfolio for the long term, but futures trading every single day is a bit of a headache on all these other altcoins. A lot of people in the Crypto Citadel do it. A lot of people in the Crypto Citadel trade a lot of altcoins, and they're fantastic at it and, awesome. But I personally just rather not. Appreciate everybody joining in here. Appreciate all you guys smashing those likes. If you're not in the Crypto Citadel, definitely do so and join. You can get 50% off your first month with the code Citadel. We do daily trade signals in there, macro long-term analysis for all of you guys that are long-term spot holders to find targets to the upside, find targets to the downside, and we do, exclusive live streams along with daily trade setups as well as the signals. So if you guys want to be part of that, definitely do so and join the Crypto Citadel. Make sure you guys are dropping more questions into the chat. We'll start covering some other altcoins here in just a second. Let's go take a look at 𝗭𝗢𝗢𝗠𝗘. 𝗭𝗢𝗢𝗢𝗘 is one of my favorite altcoins in the AI sector. That and Render. Let's go take a look at 𝗭𝗢𝗢𝗢𝗠 here. 𝗭𝗢𝗢𝗢𝗠. All right. So 𝗭𝗢𝗢𝗢𝗢, oops. Like the majority of things are pulling back now that Bitcoin is pulling back. It came up, hit our targets. The grand majority of our targets for the month of May started to get rejected here around $441 and has been pulling back ever since. Guys, make sure you guys let me know if you can hear me perfectly fine, especially the people on TikTok. If you can hear me fine with the mic over here, definitely let me know. If you need me to make it closer, let me know that as well. So right now, 𝗭𝗢𝗢𝗢𝗢 is pulling back. We're coming right, but we're actually right below the value area low for the month of May. Try to see if we can find some support here around $373. If we can't, our next big target for support is this 342, which is the quarterly average that we've been bouncing off of on May and April, and we front ran it here at the beginning of June. If that area doesn't hold, then our next big area of support is between 320 to about 284, which is the value area high for April. It is an untapped monthly average at $304, and we have a local gold pocket down at 284. Worst case, if that gold pocket does not hold, 𝗭𝗢𝗢𝗢𝗢𝗢 could be pulling back to the monthly point of control, the naked point of control for April, down at $231. Needless to say, if 𝗭𝗢𝗢𝗢𝗢𝗢 drops below 300, I will be dollar cost averaging around this area as much as I can for 𝗭𝗢𝗢𝗢𝗢𝗢𝗢. I do believe overall is going to be running a lot higher. It was one of the better performing altcoins here in this second quarter as things were recovering. It came all the way up to $480, the quarter one value area high. Not many altcoins did this. Sui was one of them that did it. Quant did it, and 𝗭𝗢𝗢𝗢𝗢𝗢𝗢𝗢. There might be one or two other ones, but the grand majority didn't. Now, that being said, once we can break out of the quarter one value area high, get above $480, we have targets between 523 to 545, and then we have our yearly untapped pivot up at $617 for 𝗭𝗢𝗢𝗢𝗢𝗢𝗢. Those are the targets right now in the general midterm. What indicators do you use when you trade? I have two custom indicators that I've made myself for my personal trading strategy. They're nothing complicated. They're just pretty simple stuff. I only have 2 custom, and then everything else is pretty much free. I used pivots. I used VWAP. I use the fixed profile volume profiles to get the ranges, and then everything else is custom made to find support and resistance areas like this daily open, previous day low, previous week high area. That indicator is all mine. Do you think Maple Finance has some room to run, or should I sell all this? Should I sell at this point? Let's go take a look at what you said. It's called Maple Syrup, Maple Finance. Oh, it's called Syrup. Ticker Syrup, called Maple Finance. 548 million. Nice 91.2% pump this month, baby. Let's go. 36% up this week. All right, let's go take a look at Syrup. Syrup, let's see here. Not a lot of data on Binance. Let's go take a look on MEXC. All right, cool. Not a lot of data here either. Well, it goes back to November. Okay, at least we have 2025 data. All right, so this thing is pretty much at all-time highs. Let's get the end of March. Get the month of April. The month of May. Let's get some quarterlies here. Okay. Get some monthlies. Okay. All right, we're taking a look at the Maple Finance Syrup. Overall, we're pretty much at local highs or all-time highs right now from what the chart here on MEXC is saying. If that's incorrect, then, correct me. I'm sorry. But this is what I'm seeing here on the MEXC chart. Overall, let's get a gold pocket from this low. Try to find my magnet. So right now, gold pocket to this high. All right, potential pullback zones, right? We are currently at an all-time high, local high. If you were able to catch that 90% plus pump, right? This thing has pumped from the lows of April to its current highs. It's pumped 513%. If you were able to catch that run from the April lows up to yesterday and today of 513% pump, I personally would be taking some fat profits, pulling out my initial, taking out some 25-30% profits, letting the rest ride, whatever. But I would definitely be taking some potential profits. That's not financial advice. That's not telling you guys what to do. But if we pull back here, if we start pulling back, areas of support that we need to be looking for is between 38 to 36. Below that is between 32 to 24 cents are the areas of support to the downside for the month of May for Syrup. So if you haven't taken profits and you were able to catch that 500% pump, you already know. I'm only up about 30% as of today. Okay, Irish Prince. So you're buying here pretty much at like local highs kind of area. So if you're buying at local highs, right, just know that you're buying into a massive pump, into a massive rally. It's already pumped 500% in the last 60 days. 500% or over 500%. At this point in time, what I would do, right? Can it run more? Absolutely. Anything can happen. This is not financial advice. But if you FOMO'd into something that's already pumped 500+% in the last 30 days, last 60 days, and you catching here a 30% pump or plus, I would be looking to be pulling out my initial dollar cost averaging my initials out, preserving my capital, letting the profits sit so that if it does come back and if it does pull back below my initial entry, I can then use my initial to then reallocate and buy back in at a better price, right? But I would be very aggressive about doing that as you continue to pump here. That was what I would be doing. That's what I would be doing to manage my risk on an asset that's been pumping so hard. When do you expect Bitcoin? When do you expect altcoin season, guys? There won't be any altcoin season until this Bitcoin dominance starts dropping below 63%. Bitcoin dominance is continuing to climb higher and higher. As of today, it's back up at 64.32%. Bitcoin, Ethereum right now is actually starting to sit below 2711, which is not good. It's not good. It's currently at 2709. Altcoins are continuing to slip as Bitcoin dominance continues to climb up, which is not good. So there is not going to be no altcoin season until we start climbing higher, right? We need to start climbing lower. I'm sorry, the Bitcoin dominance needs to drop lower. Bitcoin's price needs to climb higher. Bitcoin's price is coming back down with a vengeance here towards this previous week high, which is making me nervous. It's making me nervous. Irish Princess, thanks for the TA. Really appreciate you. No problem, brother. Good to see all of you guys. Dave Digital, what's going on? Good to see you. Clay the Great, hooty hoo hoo. What's going on, man? Congrats on that win, brother. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. 8-week bear div is still on, man. I don't know why, but I'm thinking this might be it for a few. Nice crash would be nice. Absolutely, man. A crash. When Bitcoin slipped down to 100,000, right, on last Thursday, when we slipped down to 100,000, and then we had that big move up on Friday, I was calling for 96K. I was like, man, this is going to get everybody. We had a gold pocket up here around $107,000, right? 107,900. I know because we shorted that exact gold pocket in the crypto citadel. And I was like, man, we're going to come up to this gold pocket. Everybody's going to be FOMOing, thinking we're going to go higher, go higher, go higher. And if we get rejected at that gold pocket, we're probably going to fall back down inside the downtrend, right? And keep heading down to 96. And that's going to get everybody wrecked. I was wrong. We did get rejected at 107.9. We took the short. We came all the way down to the previous week high. You guys can actually see it right here. Where was that short? Where was the short? Right here. On the 9th, we shorted Bitcoin entry 107,900. We took the short. We hit TP1 and we closed for $428, 18% winner on that day. And then it pumped right back up, kept going. I was like, okay, the next big area of resistance is this 109,800, which is the previous all-time high, which we've been rejected off multiple times, right? And we closed above it. And I was like, okay, I'm wrong. 96K is not going to happen. But guess what? Since Monday, we've been doing nothing but slipping lower and lower and lower and lower for Bitcoin. And as we continue dropping lower here, our next big area of interest is going to be this weekly untapped average at $104,316, which is lining up right there with the downtrend that we broke out of. And it's going to show us if we confirm that this breakout is legit and we have a bounce off this area and we bounce off this downtrend and we confirm the breakout, or the breakout is rejected and we fall back into the downtrend and continue heading to 96. That is probably going to be the big play for next week, which it lines up with what you're saying about the bear div. So you already know. So Bitcoin 96K, Mar. I'm not saying we're going to 96K right now. I'm saying we have to wait and see for what happens with Bitcoin. If we continue to slip to the downside, we continue rotating this previous week range to the downside, right? 104,300 is going to tell us a better idea of whether we get a big bounce off support and confirm that we did break out from this downtrend, or the downtrend or the breakout is rejected and we fall back into the downtrend. So we have to wait and see to 104,300 to see what happens. Not saying we're going to 96 right now. I'm just saying these are the scenarios that we need to keep an eye on for Bitcoin right now. Let me go take a look at Ethereum. Ethereum slipping below 2711, man. Ethereum slipping below 2711. Uh-oh. Spaghetti-o. ETH is back at 2,700. Not good, my friends. That Bitcoin dominance is crushing the altcoins, man. Crushing the altcoins, pushing the altcoins down as Bitcoin dominance continues to climb and climb and climb. What just happened? Well, what's happening is Bitcoin's price is continuing to push down. We continue to get rejected. We're heading towards that previous week high again. Heading towards that previous week high. So many times, there's only so many times that previous week high is going to hold support, right? What's the previous week high? For the people that are not looking at the chart, $106,850. We start dropping below that. Our next instantaneous target is the weekly open at 105,747. Either that happens later today or it happens tomorrow. We will see. Sorry, guys, I got some hiccups. We will see what happens, but we want to we want to bounce off this previous week high, man, and head a lot higher. We don't want to stay down here. What is causing this, anyone? Well, we're just slipping, man. We're slipping. There's, people are taking profits. 109 got rejected. That was a big rejection for Bitcoin. That happened in the last 2 days, right? Falling below 109. We had that big wick all the way down to 108, and then we closed right above it, above 109 with a little slither of a candle body. And then Wednesday, we came down and we closed below 109, putting us back inside the previous week range. And as we enter ranges, we tend to continue rotating that range in the direction that we entered it. So there we go. Right now, Bitcoin is rotating the range to the downside since we entered it from the top again, right? And the targets are weekly open, Monday low between around 105, and then we have the untapped weekly average down at 104,316. That is what's causing Bitcoin to slip. I low-key wanted to drop a lot more so I can buy more. Trying to make it. We're all trying to make it. We're all trying to make it, man. Why do you keep skipping my question? Karen, what's your question? This is the first time I see your question. I want to learn how to... Oh, it's all the way up here. I'm sorry. I didn't see this. I want to learn how to do TA like you. Do you have classes in the Citadel? I don't really have classes, but you do see my analysis. You do ask me questions. We do exclusive live streams, where this morning I was doing an exclusive live stream in the Citadel. We were managing the Bitcoin trade that we were taking, and I was teaching new members how to set up an account on Blowfin, on these trading exchanges, how to get in and out of trades, how to open a trade, right? Limit orders, market orders, all this stuff. So I technically do teach you a little bit, and I do have an academy video in the Citadel that explains in detail how to use my trading strategy. And then obviously with the exclusive live streams, you get to ask more questions and learn more and more. And obviously with the signals, you can just follow the signals and take the trades there. So yes, you can technically say we have some materials for that stuff in the Citadel. Let's see here. FOMO. Mar says FOMO. Bitcoin 96K. I'm selling my mama's house and buying more. Well, don't sell at 96K, bro, because we can slip down to 90, 88. It can drop lower. 96 is not the total bottom. There's no reason that we can't drop lower to below 96. 96 is just the beginning of the big drop, right? Losing 100 is going to be a big hit for the crypto market. Altcoins are going to get crushed. Bitcoin drops to 96. If Bitcoin does not hold 96, 90 to 84,000 is the next big region to the downside. So be careful what you wish for. Be careful what you wish for, because it can get real slippery real fast. Appreciate everybody in here hanging out, smashing those likes, hitting that subscribe. All coins will wreck if Bitcoin drops to 96. 100% agree. Grouper Duper. I like that name. That's a good name. Grouper Duper. 100% agree. I would need help setting up trading view and would like to use the same indicators as you. Yeah, that's no problem, Karen. Clay the Great says a bear div is forming on the daily for Bitcoin Cypher B. Back test daily bear divs, and what happens? Keep in mind we have long-term bearish signals that take weeks to play out. This could be it. Clay the Great, maybe you're right, man. Maybe you are right. It definitely could be it. Everybody was giving me a lot of dinglings right over here all week long because I was wrong about 96K this Monday, right? This Monday we had a major pump when I was calling for 96K. Looks like I might have just been a little late, but looks like 96K might be in play. Like I said, I hope I'm wrong. I hope we don't go to 96K. I hope we keep rocking and rolling to the upside. I don't want to see 96K, but it is what it is, right? So we will see here what happens. Guys, I appreciate every single one of you guys hanging out with me here. I got to go check out with the little mini Crusaders and Mrs. Crusader. My crypto account is hurting. Oh man, Bread. You gotta get in the game, man. Stay on it. Stay on it, bro. Lock in. now's the time. Take it easy, guys. I appreciate every single one of you guys in here. I appreciate all of you guys smashing those likes. Join the Crypto Citadel. Use the code Citadel to get 50% off your first month. I'll see you guys in the Crypto Citadel. Until next time, see ya.